When you're ready to put two pieces together, you want to think about how they're going to sit up off the table, and you want them to be interesting. So we've kind of thought about how our collage is going to relate to the actual finished sculpture. Once I decide, that I want to put two pieces together, you really have to figure out the best way to do it. So it wouldn't make sense for me to try to hold this rectangular prism up on this tiny point. Clay is not magical. You have to use some sense when you're putting them together. You really want to get two areas that are somewhat flat or at least overlap each other a little bit so that the bond is going to be nice and strong. Trying to attach a little tiny point to a side is not going to be, it's not going to work for you. So if I decide that I want to put these two together like so, I need to score, slip, and smear. You'll need a paper clip for this. I like to draw a little line so I know where I'm going to fit them together. And then it's kind of nice to have a line on the other one too. Make a little mark underneath there so I kind of know where it's going to go. Then scoring. Scoring is a process where you scratch the surface with a paper clip. You want to go kind of deep. You don't want to be super wimpy with it. And then I need to make lines on the other piece as well, and I want them to go in the same direction. So I'll scratch more lines on piece number 2. And then those two pieces will interlock. It's almost like a zipper. Those lines will kind of meet up and help to hold them together. After you get the score lines, you need to use some slip. Slip is just wet clay. It kind of has the consistency of mud. Put a little slip on my score lines. And put a little on this side too. This works kind of like a glue to hold the pieces together. I like to make sure my slip gets down into the cracks. And then we will put the two pieces together. This is the most important step. The wiggling them, you gotta wiggle them a little bit, get those teeth lined up, and then smear them. If you don't smear your pieces, the first two steps won't do any good. So we've scored, and we've slipped, and now we smear. What smearing is taking a tool and carefully pushing your clay from one surface to the other. And you want to actually move the clay a little bit at a time, and you create a nice bond there. And then you can smooth it out so we can't see where we used the stick. You need to flip your pieces around and do that on all sides. Just gently push the clay from one piece to the other and then smooth that seam out. After you get done bonding two pieces together, it's important to make sure that you still have a way for the air to escape these hollow forms. Occasionally, we will put two pieces together and cover up the hole that we made with our paper clip, or by putting them together and smoothing them out, we may have smoothed out our little hole. So it's a good idea to go back in and somewhere poke another hole into the surface, going up into your form, down into this form, making sure that the air can escape.